Hey there, what's up? It's Johnny here, and welcome to another episode of the 3C Show, the show that's full of photography love, and I am super excited as always to be here today. And man, if you haven't heard about it, the ultimate Lightroom workflow preset bundle has finally been launched. I've finally finished my product and it is selling like hotcakes and people are super pumped about it. And I'm going to show you through an image here from one of the 3C family that's sent it in for a bit of help with processing this image. And I'm going to show you how the Lightroom workflow works on this image. It works its wonders. And you know what? I'm going to smash through this image really fast and show you how quick it is to process beautiful images using this workflow while giving someone from the 3C family a bit of help with what I would do to this image to edit it. So we're up on a beautiful rocky outlook here, and you can see a city in the background, and they've created a long exposure. So we've got these orange lights through the scene. You can see where that's the streaming traffic. Well, that's what it looks like to me. I'm just surmising what all this is. And it looks like it's in the blue hour. You can see a bit of the oranges left there in the background. And it's just a beautiful little scene. We've got some cloud blowing in, and it's good. You can see your eye sort of wanders through here and out to the sunrise at the back. So I think you've done pretty good with the composition here. One thing I would have said, it would have been nice, I probably would have tried to get this line in the composition or taken this line out of the composition. So a few steps to the right may have removed these lines out of the composition, because I don't know if they're adding to it right now, but a few steps to the left and maybe you could have included more of this in the foreground here, and it might have led you around this side here. Obviously I wasn't there, so I can't totally comment, but yeah, that's something I would have thought of with this composition. And the other thing that stands out to me too is this: you got this nice big rock here and this one here, and it would have been nice, let me just turn on the crop tool here, it would have been nice to have these compositionally over to the right or over to the left, because they're right in the foreground. That's your major foreground element. I mean, you've done well with this area and the light, that's perfectly on the foreground there. So maybe what I would have done is taken a few steps to the left to take this and move this rock over to here and this other rock over to there, and you might have saw more of this line here, and you would still have this area, the lighter area, still up on this top third at the top there. But other than that, I think you've done pretty well with the image. It's a tough situation. You can look at the histogram. You've held back the highlights there, which is kind of good. And because you've shot this in RAW, we can bring some detail out of these shadows here as well. So very cool image. Let's get started. All right. For some reason it's on light gray. I got this thing, if you right click the background, you can change the color, and I just happen to like dark gray. So yeah, that's just something I like, personal preference. All right, so you can see here I've got all these presets on the left hand side, and that is the 3C ultimate Lightroom workflow you can see there. So I am going to start with that, and you can see the first thing it says, crop and straighten. So I'm just going to check that horizon line there. I've jumped on the crop tool there, and the best way to straighten your horizons, I find, is by hovering over the angle tool and using the micro adjustments there, and it brings up a grid. So that's pretty good. I think it was pretty close there, but this is a tough one, I'm sort of basing the horizon off this mystical line back here and this line here, just to make sure it's straight. So it's tough. There's no actual horizon line here, so you're just sort of guessing, and I would say you've got it pretty well in camera there, that it should be quite straight. So it's made my life a bit easier. And one thing I'm going to do is bring down the navigator, and what's really cool is I'll make this a bit bigger. If I highlight over these, you can see it's giving me a bit of an idea what the preset's going to do to the image. So that makes it really nice and fast. You don't even have to worry about what's going on over here and trying different things. You can just purely hover over and go, yep, white balance. Oh, I think cloudy looks good, and it does. So I'm going to go with that. And then we're moving on down. We're looking at the histogram. We can see it's a little bit underexposed there, so I'm going to actually brighten it up by about half a stop. And you can see it's brought things up a little bit there. Let's try a full stop there. Ooh, I'm liking that, actually. I'm going to bring it up by a full stop there. So I've brightened up the whole image. You can see this is the before, and this is an after. Just with a couple of clicks, I'm already starting to get detail in that lower area, and I'm also, bringing up the colors and the brightness back here to help me pull you through the scene. So I am going to pull those highlights down just a little bit there with the highlights. Now shadows, here we go. Let's bring them up probably about 50. That's good. That's looking good. We're starting to get some good detail in here. And if you have a look at our histogram at the top, look at the before. And it's not going to show the histogram, but look at the after. There's more detail up this end. You can see right back in the beginning. If I go down here, let me go to the history. Let me go right back to the beginning here. Okay, and you can see the histograms all pushed up to the left. And just in a few seconds, I've brought detail back into this area. It is a darker scene. You've got to remember, this is the blue hour, okay? So we are going to have some stuff down here in the shadows and the blacks, and that's fine. You know, it's not a problem at all. But I've brought some more detail up into those areas without, you know, losing detail in the highlights. So that's what's important. All right, let's get back to our presets. And now you can see we just work our way down. We're done to shadows. Now, there's a little thing here, set the white and black point. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. If I hold down the shift key, I'll double click on white, double click on blacks, and Lightroom usually does a pretty good job of setting those. So I'm pretty happy with that so far. That's looking pretty good. I actually don't mind those warmer tones. I think it looks great. So I am loving that. So we go down contrast. Ooh, let's have a look here. We highlight over. Let's try medium contrast. Oh, that's looking pretty good. I like that. I might just try heavy and just see how it goes. Oh, you know what? We might get away with the heavy contrast. Extreme. Oh, I like the heavy. That's the beauty about these. You know, I can click on one, and if I don't like it, I can click the other one, and it resets it. If I want to reset the whole slider, I can just click Reset Contrast, and it resets it. So I think I like the heavy there. Now, I'm going to zoom in here. Now, I know this was shot about 50 ISO, so there shouldn't be too much noise in this, but I do know it was a little underexposed, and when you're underexposed, you tend to get a little bit of noise in those shadows there. So I'm zoomed in 1:1. And I'm just having a little bit of a look around, and it's not too bad. It's not too noisy, but I'm just going to add a little bit of light noise reduction there. So that's done. I'm going to zoom back out there, and we're down to the vignette. I'm going to try a light vignette there. Yep, that's looking good. It's helped drawing your eye through. You can see it's pulling you from here along the lights through the scene into the sky. And now the fun start. Let's get the colors to pop. So a little bit of light saturation, a little bit of light vibrance, and a little bit of light saturation there. And let's have a look where we are. Let's try a little bit of medium vibrance. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so there's where we've come. Before, after, but we're not finished yet. So what I really like about this is the fact that I can go ahead now and add a couple little finishing touches. So that image, honestly, it could be done by now, okay? But there's a couple of advanced things that I'm going to go through right now that it's hard to do in presets, but they're really easy to do with these tools up here. So the first is a graduated filter. So I'm going to click on the graduated filter there, bring that down. And what I want to do is I want to actually add a bit more blue tone to the top of that sky. I'm really liking what that's doing up there. And I'm going to bring that down a little bit with the highlights there. So add a bit more blue. And if you see me turn that on and off there, you can see I've just added that blue tone back in there, because when you do a global white balance adjustment, because I warm things up, you're losing some of that blue tone. So I'm bringing that back there. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a radial filter here. I'm going to drop it over this part here, because I want to start to accentuate the warm colors and the magenta colors in there as well. So I'm going to double click the effects. What I want to make sure I do is invert the mask, okay? Then I'm going to slide that up there and get a nice feather. And if I press the O key, you can see the red area is what that filter is going to affect. And it's just basically all those bright area there, and where all that nice, warm and magenta tone is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a bit of warmth and a bit of magenta. Not too much, and you can easily overcook this, okay? So whenever I do it, I'll do that and turn it on and off. Off, on, and just go close. And I'm liking that. And you can see just within a few minutes, we've gone from this to this. Looking pretty awesome if you ask me. Now, there are a couple of little things. I'm going to have to go to Photoshop. I'm not a huge fan of this graffiti on the rock. I like things a bit minimal. There's also a bottle there and a few bits and pieces. And Lightroom does an okay job removing things, usually from the sky, but for more technical things like this, I like to throw it over to Photoshop. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly whiz over to Photoshop, take this photo from Lightroom to Photoshop, and I can see there, you know what? I can see there that I am actually going to do some local adjustments here. I'm just gonna bring some light onto these rocks in a bit of places here. So I've just gone for the brush tool here, nice soft brush tool, and I'm just bringing a few dabs of light, a nice soft tool here, just to add a bit more interest into that foreground. And the beautiful thing, it's non-destructive, so if I feel like I've gone a bit too hard in that area, I can just turn that down. And look, I can show you something. So off, on, close. And look at that. It's just add a bit more interest into that area. I think that's really nice. So localized adjustments, they are advanced techniques, guys, but they make all the difference. You know, they can really help you in the end. So, all right. So we've used the Lightroom workflow. We're going to go over to Photoshop now. I'm going to hit Command E or Control E on Windows, or you can right click and go Edit in Photoshop. And we'll just let it do its thing here. Don't show this again. And we'll render using Lightroom. That's fine. And I love this magenta tones. I'm a big fan of that. It looks cool on this cloud here. And I really think this image is starting to come together beautifully. All right, so we'll just let Photoshop load up here. And we've just got the spot healing brush here, okay? This little fella here. And we want to make sure that we're on content aware. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually duplicate the layer. Because look, Photoshop is a destructive editor, I want to make sure I can roll back. So Command or Control J, but if you right click this layer here, you can see duplicate layer, and you can see what we've got. We've got 2 layers now, okay? So what I'm going to do is zoom in here to about 100%. Just depends, your mileage may vary. And then left and right brackets, and all I'm going to do is, oops, I'm on the wrong one. All I'm going to do is grab that there and gone, grab that one there. Looks pretty good. Now this one might take a little bit more work. You can see there's a little bit of rubbish around here. Just tidy those up quickly. Few little distracting things there. But this really, I think, these little finishing moves, especially in Photoshop, you can see I'm just doing little lines, little bits at a time, and working my way around the graffiti that's on the rock. And you see Photoshop's doing a really nice job of cleaning this up. Now, you will find sometimes it'll duplicate little areas, and you just need to go back and go over that area again, just so it doesn't look like it's created a pattern out of the content aware. So I'm just going around there, and that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. You can see there, you can see this dot and that dot. It's been duplicated with the content aware, and that one and that one. So I'm just going to go back and just clean up any of those that I see. Just really, all right, and let's zoom back out now. Let's got rid of some of that rubbish there. We go before. After, and you can see all that's gone there. Now I'm going to hit Command S, or you can go up to File, Save. And what that's going to do is save it back over into Lightroom here. And there you go. There's the finished image, and there's what it looked like before. So that's the before, that's the after. You can see those colors are just popping now. We've got rid of some of those distracting elements. We've got good detail back in the foreground now, and I think it's looking pretty sweet. So it's taken an image from something that's, you know, been captured in raw and not much detail in those shadows, to something where the colors are just absolutely popping, and we've cleaned up that area down there. And you can see how quick it is, you know, using this Lightroom workflow that I've developed. They're not just presets. It teaches you how to edit an image from start to finish. And, you know, once you learn those few little ninja tips at the end, not all images need those. You'll be surprised. Like 90% of the images I edit, I just purely use these presets, and they're done. I export it and they're ready to share with the world. So I'm super excited about these presets, guys. And at the moment, I'm running a super special with 52% off. Okay, and the reason why is I want some feedback from you guys, and just to say thank you. I've got them on discount at the moment. Now it is for a limited time. It's not going to last forever. So you've only got a limited time to sell them at this price. But I'm looking for feedback, and so please jump in and grab this amazing deal now while you can. And man, thank you so much for watching the show, and I appreciate my Team 3C member who submitted this image. And if you're interested in me editing one of your images, you're having trouble with an image, or you just got one you want me to run through to see what I can come up with, please email me at help@3colors.co, and I'll be sure to grab that image and make a video just like this. Now, this lucky Team 3C member is going to get also a free copy of the Ultimate Lightroom Workflow preset bundle. Man, that's a mouthful. I should have really thought of that before I named this product, but it is the ultimate preset bundle. So congratulations to you for putting your image out there. It's always tough when you share an image for the world, I know, but you've done it and you've created something amazing, and I hope I've really helped you running through with those tips. So that's it for the show this week, guys. Go and check out the preset bundle. Remember, get out there and shoot something you haven't shot before. Push yourself, push your boundaries, get out in nature, and man, just enjoy. I'm super pumped being alive right now. There's been no better time to be alive. You know, I just come back from 2 weeks in the States and photographed some of the most amazing landscapes I have ever seen, dude. And I tell you what, I wouldn't be dead for quids, man. Oh, man, it's so rewarding getting out there and capturing beautiful scenes like you see here in front of me. And man, I tell you what, with a simplified post-processing workflow like I've created here, man, you're going to be creating images that are just going to be out of this world and fast. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. For all those who've been listening on the podcast, I hope you could follow along. If you want to go and check out the show notes or watch the video, head over to 3colors.co/podcast and you'll see the video for that here if you're listening on audio. Oh man, it's been another epic week and I'll talk to you again real soon. This has been Johny for 3 Colors, 3colors.co, the site that's full of photography love, and I'll catch you soon. Keep smiling. Peace.